Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. My ears are out. There we go. Much better. I want to welcome you guys to another one of my live streams. This is a little bit of an impromptu live stream. I have been thinking about going live literally all day. I actually put up a post, I think it was yesterday night, and I was like, I think I'm going to go live today, thinking maybe midday. The day got away from me. And I did not accomplish everything that I needed to accomplish. I did, however, take a 20-minute power nap, and I feel fantastic. I am one of those people that can take that 15 to 20 minutes and wake up feeling refreshed and just be productive for hours after that. Like, I will probably stay up until 1:30 tonight doing other things because of that 20-minute power nap, believe it or not. So I don't know who all is going to show up for this live stream. I was missing you guys and decided that I was going to jump up on here to maybe spend a little bit of time chatting with you guys. I have nothing, literally nothing on the agenda. And so we will talk about whatever it is that folks want to talk about. If you have a topic, if you have a question, whatever it is, put it up in all caps and let's dig into it. And whatever comes out, comes out. So let me say hello to some comic book soldiers that have joined me for this impromptu live stream. Sports Bros in the house. Master Blaster, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you for certain. I am doing well, thank you for asking. The low grade hero is in the house. Myth Lab Music is here. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Scrolling down through the names here. Tiger is in the house. William is here. Good evening to you, good sir. The Junkies are in the house. My man Leonard, it's good to see you, brother. Kimball, how you doing? I don't know what's shaking. I will tell you, however, that I am very happy that your most recent shipment arrived from CGC safe and sound. Those books were definitely dope. So congratulations on all of that. Tina is in the house. Tina, it is always good to see you. I hope that you are having a fantastic day. I did not get a chance to message you today, but I'm hoping that you are doing well. What's funny is Kelly earlier today was like, how is Tina today? And I said, I don't know because I haven't spoken with her, but I'm hoping that she's doing well. So Tina, hopefully you are good. Michael is in the house. How you doing, Michael? Riviera is here. How you doing? Scrolling down. Jesse is in the house. How you doing? Drop one of those G's. Spawn Freak, how you doing? We have a lot of Spawn people up in here. Nerd Dumb. You're watching a different one, brother. It's no telling which one you are watching. There are hundreds of videos out there, but hopefully whatever video it was you were watching, you were enjoying yourself. That's all that I can say. Ryan, how you doing? It is good to see you. I don't know about Ghost Rider news. I have been so busy today. I tell you, I have a new person that I just recently hired, and he starts on Monday for my actual job. It's that thing that gets in the way of me doing this stuff. I'm hiring a new guy. He starts on Monday, so I was very busy today with trying to make sure that his onboarding is as smooth as possible, right? So my goal is to make this guy's life as easy as possible so that he can produce. And so I need to think through, what do I want him to do the first week, and the second week, and the third week, and how does this week build upon that week and position him for this thing that I need him to do in week 6? How do I get him ready for it in week 1, right? So that's the kind of stuff that I'm thinking through. So you're going to have to tell me, good sir, what Ghost Rider news you are talking about. You're saying you're excited, so I'm guessing it must be something good. Silver Age Surfer, my man, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. I just responded to your email message a short while ago. Thank you. If you look back on that wall, I don't know if you guys can see my background, but it has changed. I said something the other day. I said that I was going to turn my wall into an all DC wall. And I have been waiting all week to transform that wall into an all DC wall. And what I realized is that I don't have enough DC slabs to actually complete a full wall, even though there's only 8 books. So I came up a little short when it came to the slabs. And so I had to make it a little bit of a mixture of kind of sort of like a Jim Lee image wall with some DC in there as well. So huge shout out though to Silver Age Surfer for hooking me up with one of those fantastic books that is back there. He hooked me up with a Phantom Stranger book that is up there. So shout out to you, brother, for making some magic happen and hooking me up. So glad to hear it, Tina. I will definitely tell Tina. I will tell Kelly what's going on as soon as I wrap up with this live stream. So what is this? Sorry, man. I didn't take a power nap, so I can't. I'm telling you, bro, I am on fire. Tater Tot is in the house, said, you inspired my dad to start collecting comics, and now he's hooked. I will not accept responsibility for your father's addiction to comics. I cannot accept responsibility for the amounts of money that he may be spending or the copious amounts of time that he may be spending reading funny pages. I cannot take responsibility for that. Misery loves company. No, shout out to dad, to Tater Tot's dad for coming into this hobby. I hope that he is having fun with this hobby because it really is an awesome hobby. If you throw up his name, Tater Tot, I will try to shout his name out. Hopefully I'll actually be able to see it. And again, if you guys have questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, throw it up in all caps. It actually helps me to see it a little bit better. All right. I guess there's some news that came out regarding Ghost Rider because Junkies is basically saying his dream of getting Marvel Spotlight 5 has died on the vine like a raisin in the sun. So I'm guessing there's a TV show, movie, something is actually happening right now. Let me see. Scrolling down through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Tia, my soul sister. The first X-Men movie came out 20 years ago. Yes, that is indeed true. I don't know, Leonard, did you see that that spot that they did? And I don't think this is from the original movie, but it was a little bit of a clip of the X-Men doing a scene, and Spider-Man actually runs in behind them. He was doing a scene on a different lot or whatever, and actually came into the X-Men scene as like a joke. It was hilarious. It was actually going around. Someone sent it to me on Instagram like 2 weeks ago or something like that. So I got a huge kick out of that. There's a couple of comments. What is this? If you don't want those Silver Surfer books that you had on your wall a couple of months ago, I'll be more than happy to take them. Yeah. You know, my memory gets a little foggy. You know, my memory gets foggy. If I could remember which Silver Surfer books you were talking about, I would absolutely give them to you, Michael. That is just the kind of guy that I am. If I knew which books you were talking about, I would end this live stream, bundle them up, and send them to you. But my memory is foggy, ergo, therefore, I cannot send them to you. So let's roll with that. Scrolling down on my screen, I see Reggie with the word fantastic right over his head. Man, you gotta love that. You know, a lot of people were like, "Dad, your painting is in the wrong place." They're like, "Your painting is in the wrong place." How can my painting be in the wrong place? Right? Because it's my painting. How can it be in the wrong place? It is perfectly centered and balances my room. And when I take my photos for Instagram, what you get is you get Galactus's hot little hands attempting to grab my awesome little books. How could my setup be wrong if it works oh so well? It makes me look fantastic. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. Scrolling down through the comments again, if there's things you guys want to talk about, throw it up in all caps. It'll actually hit. Connie, how you doing? Connie, it's good to see you. Let me see what else you guys are talking about in here. That's a funny comment. I do enjoy that one. Let me see what else you guys are talking about. Donald was saying a friend found some old issues of Hulk from the 1960s I'm guessing good condition. He has a nice run. That is awesome. That is awesome. I wish that I could find a nice stack of some really nice old, extremely expensive books and make them my own. That is always, I think that is every collector's dream, is to find a nice little stash of some comics hidden somewhere. But alas, we all continue hunting and searching for that kind of opportunity. So man, he is killing the game, isn't he, Ryan? He is honestly killing the game. He is doing some really fantastic work. And it just goes to show you that if people are given an opportunity to showcase their talents, it is really impressive how people will respond to those individuals. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Mark had been following me, I think, here on the channel for a while, and approached me at the Berkeley Comic-Con. And, you know, he was like, I want to do an AOK for you. And I was like, cool. And he was like, yeah, I'd like to maybe even do something for your subscribers as well. And I'm like, cool, let's do it. And then lo and behold, this guy is booked out, I think now until the middle part of next year or something like that, because of the overwhelming response from the subscribers of this channel. And so I am very appreciative of having been given an opportunity to meet someone that is that talented, and then to you know, have an opportunity to see him do extremely well. You know what I'm saying? To have a small role in that, I think is really, really cool. So shout out to him. And people are like, hey, where'd you get that poster? I'm like, first, it's not a poster. Master Blaster just dropped a super chat. How you doing? He said, Scarlett, who is his daughter, really liked the Garage Con shirt. What did I scrolled away from me? Loved her FF Silver Surfer unboxing covers even more. Kiddos really like, man, that was dope, man. That was dope. He Master Blaster actually tagged me on a photo or a video of his kids all sitting, well, a couple of his kids sitting around the table, and they were unboxing their comics, and his daughter Scarlett was like super excited to be opening up a box full of Silver Surfer, and like her excitement on her face was very strange. It was reminiscent of some other person that I know that gets really excited over comics. And one of the kids yells out, "Where's Spider-Man?" And I was like, yeah. There is a Spider-Man fan in every family, in every group, that is like, but what about Spider-Man? But Scarlett she was in her moment. She was in her moment, and she was wearing a Garage Con t-shirt and was having just a good time with her siblings and her father. So shout out to you, bro. For keeping for getting your kids interested in comics, right? There's a lot of people that are like, kids don't read comics. The hobby is in danger. And the truth of the matter is that just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not happening. There are children that actually read. There are good parents out there that get their children to put the iPad down and to actually read things. You know what I'm saying? And there are children that read comics. And so people, I think, assume that just because they don't observe it, that it's not occurring. And I just think that I think that people need to open their eyes and expand their horizons and consider that maybe things are happening regardless of whether they observe them or not. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Master Blaster for brainwashing. Raising his kid. We were in the pool today. And by pool, I mean the hot tub. My kids think it's a pool. Don't ruin it for them. My kids were in the pool. And my wife was quizzing my son on these action figures. She was like, Carter, who is this? And Carter, who is that? He knew all of them. He knew his Spider-Man, his Iron Man, his Doctor Strange, his Captain America. He did not know the Wasp. So I cannot fault him for that one. He did not know the Wasp, but my boy is thoroughly brainwashed. I mean, he is thoroughly educated on his superheroes. So scrolling down to some of the comments, seeing what else you guys are talking about here. Again, if you throw it up, we didn't miss a thing. You didn't miss a single thing. We are just in here having a random chat. because I have not been live all week and I kind of missed you guys. So Joe Brown is like, yeah, my daughter reads Batman and Harley Quinn. So you're telling me that children do read, Joe Brown? Is that what you're telling me? Children read comics. Imagine that. My man Sith Lord is in the house. How you doing, brother? It is definitely good to see you. Welcome to the live stream, my friend. Scrolling down through some of the comments. What is this? I was wrong. It wasn't Hugh Jackman who pranked the X-Men. It was the stuntman who was told to do it by Bryan Singer. Okay. Scrolling down through the comments, I think you guys were probably talking about something in there. So scrolling. My elderly dad reads Harley Quinn comics. That's awesome. That, man, I'm telling you that I again have never truly believed that comics were only for children. And I think that comics have a wide range of people that enjoy reading them, from the young to the old. I remember I was approached at the WonderCon by a gentleman by the name of Grant. And I don't know that I've ever interacted with Grant on the channel, like in a live stream, but Grant watches videos and recognized me at the con, walks up. He's like, Reggie, how you doing? I was like, hey, how you doing? And Grant and I had a wonderful conversation, but he was actually at WonderCon. I think Grant was in his 80s. He was there with his son. I don't know how old his son was, but he was also there with his grandson as well. And so I think that comics are one of those things that can be multi-generational, as evidenced by some of the fathers that are here in the room right now. You know, so shout out to all you guys for working with your kids and getting them in the comics. So Ryan says, in a good mood, Reggie finally got Giant Size X-Men #1. Congrats. What grade you get, bro? What grade did you get? I couldn't help but laugh at that one. I had to throw that one out. Oh my goodness. Hillbilly Comics is in the house. How you doing, buddy? He said, my 12-year-old cousin reads Flash and Daredevil. You could say I played a hand in that, brother. Congrats for bringing another one into the folds. If he's reading that new Daredevil, bro, that new Daredevil run is fantastic. I started reading that several weeks ago, and it is really, really well done. And I've never been a huge Daredevil fan, not a huge Daredevil fan, but man, is it Chip Zdarsky that's writing that? Whoever's writing it is doing a really, really good job with Daredevil. So I read some original Flash, but I have not read any Flash, nothing recent with Flash. And I like to dig into a little bit more Flash at some point. So shout out to Hillbilly Comics, my man. Hopefully you are doing well. How do I feel about statues? Do I like them? I think statues are fantastic for other people, but not for me. No. I think statues are dope, man. You know, they are super appealing. And I have found myself staring at them many a time, thinking about getting them. And every time I do, I think about the cost associated with buying that statue and shipping that statue. And then my mind immediately goes to, where am I going to display that statue? Are my kids going to knock that statue over? And then I'm like, yeah, I'll just get another comic. And I think statues are dope. There was one, it might have been XM Studios, but it was a scorpion. It was a fantastic scorpion statue that just blew my mind with the level of detail that was being displayed. And I was like, I would love to get that. In fact, this corner right here that you see, that corner, there's actually a vent right there for AC and heat and all that kind of stuff. But the reason I set that little stool right there is because, or that end table, was I originally intended to actually put a statue right there, but I could not bring myself to pull the trigger. To pull the trigger. But I think that they're dope, man. There's a lot of people out there that like to display their statues with their comics. I think that's just dope. If my room were bigger and if my children were older, I would potentially probably maybe have like 2 statues. I probably maybe have like 2 statues. No, I do think that they're cool. There's a lot. XM Studios and a couple of other people. Sideshow, I think it's Sideshow's putting out some really, really fantastic stuff. That's Thanos on a throne is just really, really incredible. So scrolling down through some of the comments, see what you guys are talking about. Steve, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Late night. And I'm leaning into the microphone so that you can hear my voice. Scrolling down to the comments, see what else you guys are talking about. Oh, Chris, you are hilarious. You are hilarious, brother. I was on, I think it might have been Facebook, and I'm never really on Facebook, but my mother-in-law insists upon sending me things on Facebook. So I was on Facebook, and it was this video of a monkey trying to steal a baby, or that's what the comments were saying. But it was basically a monkey that snatched a little baby off of a bench and was trying to drag the baby down the street. And then I was like, well, now I'm intrigued, right? So I'm going through the comments, and then what I see is basically another monkey messing with the dog. So I'm like, oh man, let's click on this and see what happens with this. It is a gibbon. It is a gibbon that is trying to snatch a dog, and the dog and the gibbon were kind of going back. And I was like, I need this video so that I can share it on my channel so that you guys can see just how gangster gibbons can be, giving gang stand up. I do have a couple of statues. This was a gift from Hawkeye. Hawkeye brought this to me at Garage Con and had it all packaged up and stuff like that in like Previews magazine, which was really dope. He was like, I'm trying to keep my carbon footprint down. And I was like, that's dope. I'm on board with that, bro. I'm on board. So Hawkeye hooked me up with that. And then back over here, I have from Tina. Tina hooked me up with this statue right here. This really, really nice Spider-Man statue. And then I have a couple of that's actually some bookends right there that is really cool. But I don't have a whole lot of statues. I have a couple of things here and there, but mostly because they've been just wonderful AOKs from the comic book community. And they make really great decorations. So why does no one like CBCS? I don't think that I think a lot of people like CBCS. How you doing, bro? It's good to see you. There are a lot of people that like CBCS. There are a lot of people that believe that CBCS actually has superior grading. There are people that really like the services that are being offered by CBCS. They like the signature verification stuff that they will do, because that's not something that CGC will do. They offer some additional services which I don't know that people really know about with CBCS. They actually offer raw grading, where if you have a raw book that you want to have graded, they will grade that book. They will put it in a Mylar and basically seal the bag. So you can technically still open it. But you would invalidate, if you will, that grade. But they offer some services that are a little bit different from CGC. There are some complaints, however, with CBCS in terms of people don't like their case, people don't like their label. People have not historically liked their turnaround time, but that has gotten incredibly good now from everything that I've heard. But people have their preferences, man. People have preferences for what they like. And at the end of the day, there is no perfect grading company. There is just a grading company that meets your needs. You know what I'm saying? So, do I have any comic tattoos? I do not. I have a single tattoo that I got when I was 18 years old. I got my ears pierced basically around the same time. And then I also got a tattoo, much to the chagrin of my mother on all accounts. But it is what it is. But no, just one tattoo. Scrolling down through, there you go, Tina. Thank you very much. I definitely appreciate that. Gibbon versus dog versus spider. Matthew sent me a photo earlier today that he drew of a flying rat because of my video that I released earlier today. And I mean, by flying rat, I mean a pigeon. Those are literally flying rats. We do not have those up where I live. We have hawks. We have turkey hawks, and we have hummingbirds by the dozen, but no pigeons at all. They bite and they throw dung. That's all that I'm going to say about that. You do indeed. You do indeed have to do that. Let me see. Joel, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. There is no other live stream that is as important as this live stream, Joel. Look at me. This is it. You guys are hilarious. You guys are hilarious. Ryan says, Mom taught me to read early and bought him his first comic ASM 151 when he was 5 years old. That is what's up. That's what's up. Sideshow has a dope Black Cat statue they're releasing soon. Sideshow is just trying to just get money from people. I'm telling you right now. They somebody sent me a really, really nice hardcover book, and it was basically a Sideshow catalog. Talk about tempting. I didn't know Sideshow had that many statues to fill a hardcover book, right? But that just goes to show you just how serious they are. But I'm flipping through this book, and I was like, I just got to put this down because this is just dirty. You know, it's just too much temptation between those covers of that Sideshow catalog that I just had to put it down. So I don't doubt that they have some dope stuff, man. A lot of the stuff that Sideshow puts out is really, really incredible. So, John, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Welcome to the live stream, my good friend. No, I'm done with tattoos, brother. No more tattoos for this kid. I am done with all of that, my man. Scrolling down through the names. Pigeons don't bite. Leonard, you're a nut, my friend. I tell everybody, you get one video. You get one video a year. This is Joel's. Joel, this is your video, brother. Not anyone else's. Okay. That's all I'm saying to you, bro. Enjoy yourself. Is there anybody in here that is new? Anybody that is just catching a live stream for the very first time? I want to shout you out. Are graded notes worth purchasing? So graded notes or notes for graded books are what, typically like $5 or something like that. I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a few hundred slabs. I have never purchased a graded note in my life, to be honest with you, because oftentimes, and here's the reasons why, you know, if you know how to grade comics, if you know the difference between a pressable defect and a non-pressable defect, right? You can honestly just look at the book and kind of know what's going on, right? If you hit the angles correctly on that book, you can see the defects, right? You know, if a book, let's say, is a 5, is like, you know, potentially anywhere from a 9 down, just look at the book and you can oftentimes see what the defects are, right? You can see spine creases and spine ticks, and you can see bends and folds, and you can see defects with your naked eye. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we're talking about blue label complete books, a lot of what you're going to be really seeing is on that cover. So, but if you're talking about, you know, even higher grade books, I don't know. I struggle. I honestly struggle with paying the extra money for the grader's notes, when a lot of times a visual inspection of the book will tell you a lot of what you need to see and know. You know what I'm saying? So again, hundreds of books. I've never purchased it. But if you feel that it's important for you to have those grader's notes, right, to improve your understanding of that particular book, I encourage you to do it. I've never actually done it. But I can also be cheap. Can be completely honest. I can also be really, really cheap with certain things. So, there, hopefully that helps, bro. Scrolling down through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. What's my thoughts on custom binds? I don't know what a custom bind is. Give me a little bit more on that, John, and we can definitely talk about it a little bit more. You got to look at the books with your good eye. Brother, I do have one good eye and one bad eye. That's all I'm going to say about that. So you definitely have to hit it with the good eye, because the bad eye just is no good. Lucas, definitely, it is good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Definitely appreciate you being here, along with all the other folks that are here hanging out right now. How you doing, brother? He says, graders notes are nice if they would include them for free, but I'm not paying extra for them to tell me what I already know. Yeah, I don't know the reason why, to be honest with you, why they don't include graders notes on the label, or just make the database available so that people can see it. I honestly don't know the rationale. In the past, I've made comments about things that are done for the purpose of driving revenue, right? And so is that part of it? Maybe is there some cost associated with maintaining a database of those graders notes beyond the initial 6 months and doing it long term? I'm guessing that there is some cost associated with that, right? And so maybe part of why they charge is that. I honestly do not know. But again, I try to just eyeball the book and feel good about what I'm actually buying. Oh, so here we go. Comic books collected and then to be hard covered like a book. Comic books collected. So I don't know that I fully have appreciate what you're asking. What I will say to you is I buy floppies. I don't buy graphic novels or omnibuses or hardcovers or trades. I don't buy any. I'm a floppy. No, that does not sound good. I buy floppy comics, right? That is what I buy. And I've always been that way. I have a couple of trades that are in the collection that people have given me as AOKs. And I am definitely appreciative of those things. But I am a guy that likes reading floppy comics. That is just what I've always done it. And that's just, for me. But at the end of the day, the big question is what works best for you, right? If it makes sense for you, then you should do that thing. I like what I like. And someone asked me the other day, well, why don't you buy comics or why don't you buy bags with the adhesive on it? I don't know, personal preference, right? So much of this stuff is it's not wrong. It's just, I just don't do it. It's personal preference, So, what do I think about custom labels on slab books? I did a video. I don't know. It was a while ago. I think the title of the video was CGC's Money Grab. I think it was CGC's Money Grab. It's an old video, but it is out there. I don't take stuff down. I won't pay extra money for an extra label. I'm good with the standard blue or yellow label, green label if things are going just bad, right? Purple if just terrible. I don't do the custom labels. I think that they're dope. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that those labels are incredible. I don't think that I have a single one in my collection, right? Cleaning and pressing books, if you do it yourself, is time consuming. If you have CGC do it or CBCS or anyone else do it, it is expensive. Grading books is expensive. And it's to the point where getting books cleaned and pressed, if you have it done by the third party grading, is almost as expensive as getting the book graded. And to add to that an extra $5 for this, extra $5 for that, no. I just won't do it, right? And this is all personal preference stuff that I'm talking about right now. If you want that super dope label or that statue or that custom bound thing, you do that thing if it makes you happy, right? Those things do not make me happy, so therefore I don't do them. But that is not me poo-pooing anyone's happiness. So hopefully that helps, answers the question. There's a question here from my man Michael. He said, should I call or email CGC, but will CGC even write up graders notes on a 9.8 or better? Probably not. Typically, you are not getting graders notes for a 9.6 or a 9.8. Typically you're not getting that, right? Because there's like a hair's difference between those books that it is like, I don't know how they spot some of the defects that they spot in order to give a book a 9.6 versus a 9.8 because they are so close. But historically, I don't think that I've ever seen graders notes for like a 9.6 or a 9.8. Right. Lower grade books, they'll put some graders notes in there, but also on super low grade books, the book has so many defects that you would write an essay trying to outline all the defects that are seen, right? And that's where it just gets a little silly, where honestly you can probably just eyeball the book and just look at all the defects, right? I think potentially there's a spot in there between maybe like 7 to like 8.5 or something like that. Maybe 6.5 to 8.5, where like graders notes are helpful, but so much of it, if you just look at it, you angle it right, you tilt it, you can see the defects because they are present. Scrolling down through some of the comments, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Chris is going to Matthew. Oh my goodness. Joel says, hold on, let me scroll to the top. I lost so many comments. This chat is getting away from me. If Reggie was a dinosaur, he would be. Oh my goodness. I should have known better than to read Chris's comment. Any opinion on top loaders with boarded and bagged books? Yeah, I don't use top loaders. I don't use top loaders at all. I actually had a massive stack of them sitting in the corner here that I actually chucked. I don't use top loaders. I use mostly like 90 some odd % of my collection is probably in regular polys and backing boards. There is a percentage of books that are in Mylar and backing boards, and then there's a % that are graded. But I don't do top loaders or any of that other kind of stuff. Scrolling down through some of the comments, super dope label. I have never actually tried that. I have actually never tried that, to be honest with you. Some people swear by it, man. Some people swear by it. They say that it works really well. I've been experimenting with a couple of new techniques myself regarding cleaning of comics. I have not tried that, but I am always looking for ways to improve what I do. And mind you, I submitted, I don't know, 40, 50 books to CGC, and the vast majority came back pretty much 9.8, 9.6 kind of stuff. So I'm very comfortable with my cleaning and pressing game. I mean, mind you, a lot of those were modern books that didn't require a whole lot in the way of cleaning. Let's be completely honest about that. But I feel like the technique that I have works pretty well, but I'm always trying to experiment because people have questions. Well, what about this? What about that? This is one that I have not tried. So I will have to defer on that one. But I would say stay tuned because I think I do have some stuff that is going to be coming out to you guys in the next couple of months. So Sith Lord says custom labels are 90 shiny covers at $5 a pop, brother, at $5 a pop. Scrolling down to the comments here, I pay an extra $5 for the custom labels, but not for the graders notes. There you go. If that's where your happiness is and where you draw your line, brother, do what you got to do. I respect it. I definitely respect it. I might be more willing to do a custom label if they had better choices. Yeah, I feel that. There, EGS actually does some custom labels as well, right? And for EGS, what he does is it's not a Marvel character or whatever. He actually changes the colors of the label to actually get it to match the book. And it's actually pretty dope. If you guys haven't seen it, Tony Trebetta is a Patreon member, but he's also the owner of EGS. And if you go to EGS on Instagram, if you can't find it, you let me know. I'll send you a link. But there he shows some really great examples of custom labels that he does. And for him, it's a little bit of a differentiator, right? Similar to how CBCS does authentication and the raw book grading to differentiate themselves from CGC. EGS is another third-party grading company that has tried to do things that differentiate him from the competition. And when you see the books that he does, it's actually pretty striking. So enough on that. So what is this? Don't get to your live streams much. Well, that is unfortunate, Mike, because this is where all the magic happens. He says, don't know if I missed it, but how do you feel about CBCS starting to have a census? Do you think that they will verify signatures? So I actually broke the news of the CGC. Well, I didn't break the news, but I was to my knowledge, one of the first YouTubers to actually talk about the census. I have a video that is going to be coming out next week that is actually going to go a little bit deeper into some of my thoughts around the CBCS census. So definitely stay tuned to that. That census, I think is a work in progress. I did some spot checking. I found several errors and things like that that I sent messages to CBCS about. I think it's fantastic that they have taken shot on goal and made their census available. Again, as I mentioned in the video that I released, if you haven't seen this video, go back and watch it, that I released, I think it was last week, where I talked about this. I think that they are continuing to narrow the gap between them and CGC, which I think is fantastic. I think that they will continue to refine and improve their census over the next 6 to 12 months. And I think that in about 6 or so months, they should be in a really good place to make hay with that census. And whether they're going to track verify signatures and all that kind of stuff, my guess is that they will in time. But doing a searchable database of this magnitude is not an easy or light lift, and it's expensive, right? So my guess is that they will continue to make magic happen. CGC uses both good eyes, well done. Chris Rigger, you are hilarious, dude. So Tommy Mayo, don't graders notes come with the membership? I can see all of them. Yes, you actually do get graders notes when you send the book in to be graded. You get to see your graders notes, and I believe it's only for 6 months. I think maybe 8 months. After that, I think that those graders notes actually go away. And then if you sell that book or you buy a book that is already graded, you actually do not get the notes for that particular book. So that's where people are coming from. Tommy Mayo. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. Why so little DC love? What are you talking about, bro? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Why so little DC love? DC needs to license out the brands for the CGC labels. Oh, yeah, I got you on that. I thought you were talking about Room. I'm like, bro, look, there's DC back there now. Yeah, I think that there's a couple of reasons for it, right? Marvel does a whole lot more licensing, I feel. Right. I think Marvel does, because of the movies, because of the popularity of their characters, they have a lot more people that are attempting to license those things. The values associated with Marvel comics exceed those of most DC comics. Right. So if someone has a DC comic, I think part of it is that is CGC willing to pay DC to license the characters for the purpose of the label? The question becomes, how expensive is that? And how many $5 labels do they have to sell to be able to recover the money for the term of that agreement? And my guess, and this is my guess, is that the volume of comics coming into CGC is probably higher on the Marvel side than it is on the DC side. My guess is that they've done some math and done some analysis to determine that it's going to be tough for them to recoup their costs to get that licensing. That these are assumptions that I'm making by the simple fact that they haven't done it, right? These are not stupid people, right? So the question becomes, if they haven't done it, why haven't they done it? My guess is that it has to be cost prohibitive, and or they cannot recover their cost in an adequate time so as to offset the cost associated with licensing. Though these 100% speculation on my part. I don't know if that's still available though. Master Blaster, is that still available? Is the Stan Lee signature custom label still available? I don't think that it is. I don't think that it is anymore. Let me see. Yeah, we mixed it up, man. You gotta keep you guys on your toes, man. I keep mixing it up in here. Scrolling down through some of the comments again. If you guys have questions, comments, thoughts, throw it up in all throw it up in all caps because it helps me to actually. Oh, Sith Lord. Turok is the man. You guys know that. Yeah, so CGC posted something now. Man, they posted a video, man, that had people just all aflutter. I don't think that they fully announced the details. At least I hadn't seen it. My questions to them were, is it a new case? No. Is it a new grading scheme? No. All right, I'm done. I had 2 exchanges. Is it that? No. Is it this thing? Nope. All right, I'm out. All right. So I will wait for them to break the news and or to leak it to me a little bit closer to when they plan to unveil it, because I honestly don't know. But rest assured, when I saw that video, because several people sent it to me, I sent off some messages and was like, so what is this? Will you tell me what it is? And I was like, if I guess, will you confirm? And yeah, so I came up empty. Reggie, where should I look to buy an FF48? I watched your how to buy a Grail video, but I'm wondering if there's a better way than eBay. Yeah, bro, you got to watch the video where I talk about Instagram, right? There was a couple of videos, I think 3 or 4 videos where I actually show you and talk to you about why Instagram is actually a better platform than eBay. And it's a better platform because you can actually avoid the eBay fees. And so that video is here on YouTube. All you have to do is search for Regie Collects Instagram. If you search for Regie Collects Instagram, you should probably pull up every single video that I've created. That video probably contains a lot of tips that will help you. What I will also say is that after you watch those videos, message me on Instagram and I will put you in contact with some people that potentially have a good copy of Fantastic Four 48 for sale. I have a lot of dealers that I do business with because I give away a lot of books here on the channel. I buy a lot of books from our personal collection. So I have a network of dealers that I work with that I refer people to. These guys don't necessarily give me free stuff or cut me crazy deals, but they are good people, right? Good people that I like working with. And so, message me and I will try to put you in contact with some folks. All right. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. It's a good collection, man. And I did a video recently where I talked about, is it possible to build a fantastic collection in this day and age? Because there's a lot of people are like, it's impossible. I'm like, yes, it's possible because I've done it. The vast majority of these books that are in my collection, I did not have at the beginning of 2018, did not have these books. I have worked and I have hustled. And I have been very, very focused on achieving my goals. And that's how I've been able to pick up the books that I've been able to pick up, and I think that, everyone's good collection will look differently based upon their disposable income, based upon their goals and their preferences and all that other kind of stuff. But is it possible to build a collection, a really good collection? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But thank you for the kind words. I definitely appreciate that. Scrolling down to the comments here again, if you guys have things you want to talk about, throw it up in all caps because it'll actually help me. Oh gosh, I hope not. Oh gosh, I hope that that's not it. If they do it, set up a separate division. Don't take away my graders to grade cards. That would be a shot across the bow. If CGC starts grading cards, that is a shot across the bow at somebody else. Man, they are not messing around. What is this? Also, another grading company called SGC is doing half grades as well. So scrolling up through the comments, because clearly I missed something. Looks like they're going to do like Beckett does with the cards. Yeah, well, that was one of my questions. I asked them whether they were changing whether it was a new grading scheme. And the answer was no, it is not a new grading scheme. But maybe Hydra Collectibles is correct that they're actually going to start grading cards, which might be a whole different thing. So that would not be a new grading scheme. That would be a scheme for a different collectible, which is not the question that I asked, right? So, Clayton Crane sign. No, I didn't send anything in. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I interviewed Clayton Crane, I had an opportunity to ask him about one of, his favorite books, one of his favorite covers that brings back memories, that makes him smile, if you will, whenever he sees it. He gave me a book. So I went out and bought that book and I was like, I'm going to get Clayton Crane to sign my book. Picked up several copies of it and not a single copy arrived in time for the deadline. So I'm not doing Clayton's signature. I'm actually sitting out this entire round of all the signature series stuff. I'm sitting out the entire round. I'm not getting a single book signed, and I will explain to you guys very soon why I am not. So stay tuned for that, because it is going down. So Sith Lord says comic cards is the next hot item. You could be right about that, brother. You could be right. Scrolling up through the comments here. Man, here's the thing. I've been watching a lot of basketball stuff lately, and I'm not even a sports fan, but I've been watching like these interviews with John Sally on Vlad TV. I've been watching these interviews with Charles Barkley and Magic Johnson, talking about Isaiah Thomas and why he wasn't on the dream team and all this kind of, and I'm digging it. I'm digging it because I was a bad boy fan like nobody's business. But if anybody compares me to Michael Jordan, I will take it. I will take that comparison any day of the week. So scrolling down, hey, you watch it. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. You watch. Just picked up a set of Wolverine limited series. Super stoked for it to get. Just picked up a very fine Nearman set of Oh, congrats, bro. Congrats, man. That is a dope run. I'm gonna be honest with you. That title, that limited series is, in my opinion, one of the best Wolverine series out there. The orange cover, fantastic run. Unlike the ongoing series with the black cover. No. Maybe, and we will see what happens with this current run of Wolverine when it actually returns. The newest series with Wolverine, issue number 1, fantastic. Issue number 2, So I'm waiting to see what is going to happen in the subsequent issues, because in my opinion, there really has never been a really good ongoing series for Wolverine, right? As I just mentioned. And so I think that this new series that they are doing has the potential to be the best solo title Wolverine ongoing series, period, if they do it right. So fingers crossed, man. But congrats on that. That is a dope series. So scrolling down, do I think Moon Knight is overvalued right now? I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not looked at the values of Moon Knight in a very, very long time, but I would say if there is anything out there, generally speaking, that is associated with a movie or TV show, I believe that it is Red Ocean, right? That is my belief, is I believe that anything that is related to a movie or a TV show or streaming service right now is potentially Red Ocean. That does not mean that there are not exceptions. That does not mean that things are not changing. But that is to say that things have a tendency to be overpriced. Yes. And that is Red Ocean territory. And the question becomes, where is the blue ocean? Where are the opportunities? Right. But if you ask a Moon Knight person will be like, no, it is not overvalued. Moon Knight is going to the moon. And so therefore it does not matter the price to a Moon Knight person, because they believe that Moon Knight is the greatest thing ever, as they should. Because that is how I think about Spider-Man, the greatest character ever, right? So shout out to those guys. Lee, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. He says, if CGC tries collecting cards, PSA is still best. There you go. He's laying down the gauntlet. I will tell you right now, I am never getting a card graded. I'm going to just be completely honest about that. They are grading everything, right? Games, cards, toys, comics. I think, what are those little the Funko Pops are next. They're going to be grading Funko Pops very, very soon. So nothing wrong with it, but I will tell you that the grading of collectibles is going to continue to, in my opinion, it is going to continue rising in popularity. There is a reason that CGC and CBCS continue to introduce new services, new features, new cases, new this, new that. There is a reason for that, because there is a lot of money to be made. CGC has graded 6 million collectibles. How many more are there out there that are ungraded? The vast majority of my collection is ungraded. You know what I'm saying? And so this is like the little engine that could. It is a great source of revenue, right? And these companies are dialed into it, and that's why you see so much competition in this area, because there is so much money to be made, and rightly so. Get after it. Reggie put me in the hunt and hustle. It can be done. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You heard? All you need is a little bit of pasta the night before, so you can carb load and you can run that marathon. Trust me when I tell you, watch a couple of my videos, you will be good. Do I have all the Fantastic Spider-Man? I don't know if I appreciate that question. What I will say is that I have every single copy of Amazing Spider-Man from the very beginning to the most recent title. Every single one, except for the variants. Variants don't count. Not my book. Scrolling down to some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. Let me see. What is it? Speculating on certain DC issues becoming major keys later. God is forever people. #1 graded at 9.2. Congrats on that, man. I think that there's a there's a lot of Kirby books. There's a lot of DC books that are potentially undervalued, right? And the question becomes, what is it that drives the value of comics? What is it that drives the value? Part of it is rarity and scarcity. Scarcity is like the desirability of that particular book, right? And so rarity is basically how many were printed and how many continue to exist. And so I think that you have to look at those two factors and ask yourself, is there potential for some magic to happen based upon rarity and scarcity in the future? Because potentially that is where the value comes from. And so I don't have a crystal ball, right? But there are lots and lots of opportunities out there. Where they are, only time will tell. Only time will tell. How many Silver Age X-Men books do I have? I don't know. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Kimball, and there's a reason for it, bro. I am avoiding looking at my Silver Age X-Men books because I am going to get this tingle that is going to compel me to start buying all of them so I can have a complete run, and I am resisting that urge. I have issue 1, I have issue 2, 5, 50. And then like a lot of the Claremont stuff. I have a lot, like the first time Logan was called Logan, I have a lot of that kind of stuff. But the Silver Age stuff, low number, primarily 1 to 5. Those are the big ones for me and in the Silver Age for X-Men. And there's a reason for that. A lot of the X-Men stuff really isn't good, just being completely honest. A lot of the early X-Men was not very good. There was a reason why it was basically canceled. I think a lot of the Chris Claremont stuff was really fantastic. And if I were to do a run, it would probably be around that run. So around the Chris Claremont time frame. So scrolling down, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. Scrolling down through some of the comments. I can't decide if I want bro. I'm telling you, Lee, you don't, bro. Technically Lee. So Lee and I had a little bit of a friendly competition. This dude's a big X-Men fan, right? And he would put up these posts and he would have like five copies of a book spread out. And I'm like, oh, you got 5, huh? And I go dig in my things and I'd be like, oh, I only have 4. Okay, never mind. And then he'll put one up and he'll have like 4 copies of it. And I'll go dig into my thing and I'll have 5. And I'm like, boom. So we had a little competition going on. But Lee is a big time X-Men fan. And I'm a huge X-Men fan. There's no doubt about that. But I think there's a tipping point from being like into X-Men and like being like Lee. Like I think this dude's really into X-Men, but yeah, at some point I may buy more X-Men books at some point. There are other books. A lot of the books that I really want, I already own, right? So let's say that. Then there are so many other books that I would want to get for my collection that would be prioritized ahead of X-Men, that it prevents me from buying the X-Men, right? If I saw a really good deal, I'd probably buy some of them, but I'm so focused on the things that I'm actually trying to accomplish with my collection that I can definitely have a myopic viewpoint on things. So, but at some point, Lee, I'm gonna go on those waters, brother. I'm gonna go on those waters. Yes, it is. That is a dope book for certain. That is a dope book, my friend. I am so behind. I'm so behind on the comments here, so I'm trying to catch up. Oh yeah, I do have those. Thank you. Sith Lord, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. So I do have 12 and 14 as well. I forgot about that. And I think I have, which one is the issue with Banshee on the cover? I have that one. I have to do better. Some of these things are in memory. Some of the things are not. I'm gonna just be honest with you. But I thankfully have a lot of people that watch a lot of my videos and keep me honest about stuff. So shout out to Sith Lord for keeping me honest for certain. Scrolling down to some of the comments here, so you know what you guys are talking about. Kimball and Lee bonding over the X-Men. The Phalanx, that's what's up. Scrolling down, high five to the X-Men fans out there. Scrolling down. What is this? Brandon says, for me, my favorite is X-Men, either Uncanny, then Moon Knight, Daredevil, and Batman. That's what's up. I'm not too bad. I'm not too mad at that argument right there. So opinions on digital only comics. So digital only comics aren't necessarily new, right? Digital only comics have actually been around for a while. And if memory serves, as an industry, it only results in about $120,000 that it contributes to the industry as a whole in terms of digital comics, right? This is $1 billion industry, and like 120,000 of that. If 120,000, I may need to go back to my math. Maybe it was a million. I need to go back to my math. I apologize. Let's put it this way. Digital first is not new. It has been around for a while. Digital comics are not new. They have been around for a while. They represent a tiny sliver of the overall market. At this point, the vast majority of the market, honestly, is graphic novels, followed by your floppies, right? And then your digital comics are that little bitty sliver at the end. I like digital comics. I actually read digital comics. I read them heavily because I have young children. And so as to prevent myself from isolating myself from my family when other things are going on, I read digital comics. I read digital at night before going to bed, right? So I'm a big fan of digital comics, but I'm also a huge believer in actually collecting comics. That's evidenced by the 7,000 books that I'm surrounded by right now in this room. I like physical paper, but I like the convenience of a digital comic. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, they do. But you know, when you have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old that don't appreciate the delicate nature of paper, you go digital. Scrolling down, Chuck, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. Yeah, let's not bring that up again. Let's not do that. Matt Woods is in the house. How you doing, brother? So this dude right here, Matt, what is your wife's name, man? Because man, Mother's Day, Matt, is right around the corner, brother. If you mess Mother's Day up, man, don't mess Mother's Day up. This dude's wife just hooked him up with Incredible Hulk number 181, a fantastic copy of Incredible Hulk 181. And I think he told the story that she looked at him, I guess maybe over breakfast or something like that, and was like, you know, what book would you want or something like that. He's like, Hulk 181, I don't think I'll ever get it because the prices are going up. She says, well, it's coming. So shout out, man. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to having a dope wife, man, that supports your addiction. I mean, supports your hobby, that allows you and your son to have that fantastic comic book room and to spend all that time up there in the upper levels of the house playing around with some stuff. But that is definitely cool, bro. I definitely I felt it as you were opening that book up and pulling it out. So congrats to you, my friend. Even with digital comic total sales of comics, they're very low compared to the silver age, golden age, with movies coming out left and right. Why do you think comic books are still unsuccessful? It's $1 billion industry. I'm not certain that I would call that unsuccessful. In fact, if you look at it, Dogman, and most people in this room probably have never even heard of Dogman. Dogman sold 8 million copies, and it's a graphic novel, which is essentially a comic book for children. The industry itself is a $1 billion industry. That is not an unsuccessful industry in any way, shape, or form. And anybody that says it is, I'm struggling a little bit with that one. All right. Let me scroll down through some of the comments here. They're doing a script for profit. Ooh, have you guys read Prophet recently? Ooh, it's tough. It's tough, man. What is this? I needed this, Reggie. Thanks. You are welcome. Here's the thing I'm gonna tell you, man. There's a lot of people out there, man. There's a lot of people out there that are, and I'm not saying Master Blaster is one of these people. I'm making a general statement, observations. People are generally struggling right now with everything that is happening in the world with the shelter in place and things like that. You know, for example, my company announced earlier this week, my CEO basically said that we are now going to continue sheltering in place until September. We have another, I don't know, 3 months or whatever this is. We've been, however long we've been in it, we are going to continue until September 8th. So that means a lot of videos coming for you guys. But a lot of people are struggling, man. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of people have work, but it's not an adequate level of work. People are struggling with the isolation. With the sheltering in place, they're there are real struggles out there. And so part of the reason why I've continued to do videos, I've continued to do live streams is one, because I enjoy it, right? That's the primary motivation behind this, but it's also to try to maintain some semblance of normalcy and to also provide some semblance of entertainment for people that are continuing to shelter in place and may need an outlet for whatever it is that they're going through, right? And for me, that is what comics have always been. Comics have always been an outlet for me, a way to escape reality. Not that reality was bad, but everyone needs to have that mental break, to have that space to just think about something else versus the other stuff that is out there. And so that is part of the reason why I've continued to put out content for folks. And, you know, I think that it helps. It helps me, right? It helps me. And I think that it helps you guys as well. So I want to definitely thank everybody for continuing to be part of what it is that I'm trying to do here. I hope you guys are just, you know, enjoying it, man. And, you know, hopefully on the other side, we will emerge stronger, right? And there are people that will try to say that the industry is failing, the industry is in trouble. I struggle with that. Again, it's a $1 billion company. If you look at some of the data, not the data, but some of the statements that have been released from Diamond is basically saying that the orders that are actually coming in for new comics being shipped on May 20th is actually stronger than they anticipated. It is actually higher than the estimates that they put in place, which means that there is pent up demand because comic fans are not fair weather fans. Comic fans want to read comics. Comic fans have continued to buy comics. Comic fans have continued to participate in live streams like this because they enjoy comics. And when comics return, comic fans will continue to buy comics and read comics and collect comics. The industry is not failing. It's a $1 billion industry, and there are 75 people in this room right now that read comics. How can it be failing if we're all sitting here for more than an hour talking about comics? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Yes, I am still working. Yet that well said, brother. Well said. I was talking to somebody earlier, man. I was talking to my office manager, and we were just sitting there talking, and we were just like, you know, you're just very thankful that you have a job. You are thankful that you are able to continue working and providing for your family, because there are a lot of people that aren't that fortunate. You know what I'm saying? And you have to take a moment and kind of acknowledge that. And you know, it's tough. It is definitely tough. Long live comics. You heard? You guys are awesome. All right. With that, I am going to wrap this thing up because I can keep it going, but I kind of sort of hear my wife out here making some noise. So I am going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Tomorrow is Friday. I may go live tomorrow as well. So definitely want to encourage you guys to stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I definitely want to encourage you to do that. Turn on notifications on the app and also on your phone, because sometimes your phone will override the app. If the app is like, hey, Reggie's on live, and your phone's like, no, he's not, then you won't see it. But turn on notifications, all that kind of stuff, so that you guys can see when it is that I'm going live, because I'm going to continue trying to go live to give you guys a little bit of some entertainment. If you enjoyed this chat, I definitely want to encourage you to hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment behind, all that good stuff. If you need to reach out to me, you can absolutely do that. And I know there was a couple of people looking for some books. If you guys need some dealers to get in touch with, message me on Instagram. I will hook you up. If there's videos that I mentioned during the course of this live stream that you were unable to find on the channel, if you send me a message on Instagram, which is my preferred, I will definitely attempt to hook you up. If you have to send me an email, you can do that as well. And I would ask that you send those emails to Regie@ReggieCollects.com. That is my preferred email address. I'm trying to move away from the Gmail account as best I can to the proper domain, because it also serves as a reminder as to what the website is. So Regie@ReggieCollects.com. If you guys need me, I am not too hard to find. Take care. I wasn't ready for that. I ended it too soon. You ready now? Okay, let's go.